Fish running fish schools and learn fish rules. Ducks quack and roosters crow is a fact we all must know. Copycat is a fact, na 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 na, when it comes to things like that.
We're gathered here to remember the uprising, which is also known as the Watts Rebellion or the Watts Riots, but we prefer Uprising. A large series of events that began on August 11th, 1965, in the neighborhood of Watts. The uprising lasted for 6 days, resulting in 34 deaths, predominantly Black Americans. 1,032 injuries, 4,000 arrests. 34,000 people were directly and indirectly involved, and it ended in the destruction of 1,000 properties across Los Angeles. It was Wednesday evening on August 11th at around 7 p.m. when stepbrothers, Marquette and Ronald Fry, were pulled over by a white California Highway Patrol officer while driving their mother's car just around the corner from their home, on Avalon Boulevard and 116th in the Watts neighborhood. The traffic stop ignited what we've become known as the Watts Uprising. A confrontation broke out between Marquette and one of the police officers, and Ronald joined in, his brother joined in, part in protest and part in defense of his brother. The Fry brothers' mother, Rena, she showed up. Again, she was just around the corner. She showed up on the scene, and believing that the police were abusing her son, she rushed to pull the officers off of him, which resulted in expanding the fight. A crowd began to gather, and backup police arrived under the assumption that the crowd was hostile, which resulted in a fight between one of those onlookers and one of the other officers. Rena was arrested, as well as her 2 boys. She was forced into the car. Ronald was handcuffed as he attempted to intervene in his stepmother's arrest. The crowd got angrier and angrier about the scene that they had witnessed. More officers arrived and used batons and shotguns to keep the crowd back from the police cars. Hundreds of more people flocked the scene. By 7:45, just 45 minutes after the first traffic stop, the uproar was in full force, with rocks, bottles, more being thrown at buses and cars that had stalled in the traffic because of the incident. After 6 days of the uprising, and the area expanded far beyond Watts. The area where the curfews occurred was 40 square miles, 10 times the size of Watts, 10 times the size. After 6 days of the uprising, what came next? It's an imperfect description of the history because a lot came next. But what importantly came next was rebuilding. Rebuilding community, rebuilding relationships, bringing voices to the voiceless in communities like Watts. Father Amde Hamilton, who can teach us much. In the time after the Watts Gang Task Force, and Betty Day and Sister Waigia, and so police relationships and police abuse was real.
You could find Simon Rodia, one of the greatest sculptors that ever lived, and he built the biggest piece of art done by one man.
I'm sorry to disturb you, sir. One moment, please. One moment, please. Spindler and Herman, you've been disrupting since you walked in the door, making noises and showing disrespect for this presentation. If I hear one sound out of either of you, you're gone. Sorry about that, sir.
Okay, so living in Watts during the times of the Watts Rebellion and the Watts prophets also, who are the fathers of the art form called rap. When I say rap, all of you think of hip hop. Hip hop is a culture. Rap is an art form created and developed in the South Central Los Angeles.
Let's give it up for Tim McCosker, please. This guy is dedicated. That was 5 years old when that burning was taking. And what was really amazing to me, I used to play with my army man. And I got it in my hand and I'm sitting on the front porch. But when I look up, I see the same folks running in front of me. And I didn't know where I was. I couldn't believe it. I thought they came alive. But all the time, that was National Guards in our community, and we had that uprising. Father, I'm dead.
Now is new. Now is new. Now is new. Right this moment, you can do something old, or you can do something new. But now is new. Yesterday went away. The past is history. The future a mystery. What are we going to do with now? What are we going to do right now? Because a stagnated mind, I say a stagnated mind, it don't stagnate time. Time just moves on to now is new, now is new. Right this moment, City Council. Do something new.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning, Mr. City Attorney. If you would allow me, I would like to speak on everything, all items.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items. Go ahead and begin.
Yeah, thank you. For item number 17. 命運高送點配流嚟，命運高三吸咗嚟，係命運就上空下站嚟，做人咪去為播流來，心心更馬應死，我願能入生永遠陪伴你。入心之中多多進進，那會看輕佢處旁行時，我也寫過到咗一叫成世咪寫咗嚟某年那要燒地，我哋鬥過幾多落嚟在雨夜碰到，入情之中穩穩曲曲，我也有做過從何時有你伴我嘅我也你哋派好，星紅入之火人電站地我加班成。冚身一定能拖過，迎晚風輕輕吹過，辦放在經經
Okay, you can move on to the next item now.
Next item, let's move on to item number 18. 心若不在，你何必强求？人若不爱，你何必强留？这世界本就人来人往，不顺路的人怎会为你停留？心若不在，你何必强求？人若不爱，你不如放手。路不通时，那就换条路走。或许回头会有更好的人。在你身后。Next item, I would like to speak on item 19. After item 19, I will continue to general public comment. After 19, 我想和你一起去 Figueroa， 让我们一起去找拉沙尼瓜，她美丽动人拉沙尼瓜，她在 Figueroa， 我在一直前行，我就一直爱你，永不放弃拉沙尼瓜，让我们一起去到 Figueroa， 她善良大方拉沙尼瓜，她在 Figueroa， 我会继续前 前行。我们说好永远不离不弃 Figaro 啊，让我们一起找到拉沙尼瓜。他品学纯洁拉沙尼瓜，他在 Figaro 啊。我要继续努力，我要和他一起穿上婚纱拉沙尼瓜，即使他一直待在 Figaro 啊。
General public comment.
他不想离开 Figaro 啊，他叫拉沙尼瓜。他说他会等我，他说等我回来娶她回家拉沙尼瓜。即使我们要住在 Figaro 啊，我无怨无悔 Figaro 啊，我爱拉沙尼瓜，我会永远爱她，永远爱着 Figaro 啊。For the remaining general public comment, I have seen in the city of LA right now, we have seen another series of a burglary follow home. We have seen another serious rapist on the news. This is not something surprised me. As I mentioned on numerous times, when those rapists knows there's no consequence, when those serial burglars knows there's no consequence, they will continue to do that over and over again until those criminals knows there's consequence for committing a crime. I'm
Your
sorry.
time is
Speaker, your
expired.
time has expired. And just for anybody who requires an interpreter or would like one, Speaker, I know that you like to give some of your comment in a foreign language. If you make that request a few days in advance, we will do what we can to try and accommodate that. So, good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Hi, I'm Donald Harlan. I'd like to speak on all agenda items and general comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Agenda item number 4 is listed up there. It says this is about a CEQA project. There's no such thing as
Speaker, item number 4 is not open for public comment. The items that are open for public comment are items 17 through 23. So you.
Okay. Item 17, LA Housing Department is not a real government agency. They don't own any property. They shouldn't be building. It says they're trying to issue tax notes. Definitely no. There's no issuing of tax notes in the city for illegal real estate developments. I don't know who Otzi's Place project is at 16015 Sherman Way, but they do not own that property. Agenda item 18, this is concerning AB 1290 and CD4, the community beautification and cleaning. You know, they give you a roll of trash bags and a broom to clean the community, you know, and some money to pay the people to do it. But that doesn't mean build something with the money. It's another problem. People abusing the law or using the word of the account to spend the money for other things they're not supposed to. Agenda 19 and 20, the Soledad Enrichment Action and Community Warriors 4. I would take a good look at them. Where'd all those people come from all of a sudden? They just come out of a brand new housing track or something else going on there. Really, it needs to be, the data needs to be collected. Agenda item 22. Oh, here we got a big hot one here at the city. Please look at this one. AT&T does not need $30 to $60 million from the city of Los Angeles for a contract. Okay? It doesn't cost $30 to $60 million for AT&T to run communications in the city. We have a big problem there, big breach at AT&T. People trying to move the company around and get money out, and none of them even work at AT&T, you know? There's people following the cable, there's people following my cable across the ocean from all over the world. Show up and say, hey, I'm AT&T, give me $60 million. No. And you need to really look at those people in the city doing that. Agenda item 23, the EWDD, the Economic and Workforce Development Department, is not a real department. There's not to be economic development, people in the city working on the workforce is fine. 3685 South Vermont Avenue, they don't need real estate for that. They don't need, number 23, no. They don't need real estate to build there.
General public comment?
Okay, agenda item number 1, the city transportation. It's like, give me $25 million, LA Department of Transportation. Big problem there. This is not where it's done. Not only that, there's a big breach in the city ride buses, bad problem. Agenda item 4, CEQA and the Boyle Heights Community Plan. There's no such thing as a Boyle Heights Community Plan. They did not build anything in Boyle Heights. I would challenge anybody in Boyle Heights to prove they own their house. Also, agenda item 5, reject the Griffith Park horse ranchers. That's fine. They shouldn't be having horse ranches in Griffith Park. Okay? Nobody should have a fucking horse ranch in Griffith Park. You know, just LAPD has a few horses there. No fucking horse ranches. So many other problems. Child care for the mayor in Sunland Tahunga. Look at the mayor real carefully what she's doing over in Sunland Tahunga. Big problem there. Document.
Thank you
dumps.
very much, Mr. Harlan. Okay, I'm going to call a few more names.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Mostly general public comment, but you know that the 65 riots was preceded
some
by a police
General
stand
public
down.
comment. Go ahead. You have 1 minute.
The 65 riots were preceded by a stand down, and all of us know the Rodney King riots were preceded by a very, very obvious stand down. I was listening daily. Everyone that is my age that listened to the Rodney King riots. The police didn't get involved because they wanted corruption to go forward. Okay, I was a member of the October League. This is when I was a kid, young. No, we were not violent, and they said to us, do you think that they're going to allow socialists to take over? Hell no. So be prepared. That's what it was, okay. And why I'm bringing that up now, I'm a little thinking of why I'm bringing that up. Oh, I just have to say another thing. Do you know that directed energy caused me to have 4 infections in 4 different places? My eyes have an infection in
Speaker,
them.
your time has expired. Next speaker.
So I'll take my 1 minute of general public comment to talk about the Bangladeshi Hindu genocide that's going on right now. I don't know if you've heard about it, and some of you may be aware that the president was ousted, but at the same time, over these past few days, over 300 mandirs, temples, places of worship have been destroyed. Over 700 Hindu homes have been destroyed in targeted pogroms that equate to a genocide. If you look at the percentages of Hindus in Bangladesh since partition, it has declined from 30% to about 2%. And every little while, every 2 years, every 3 years, there is uncontrolled bloodletting. It's going on right now. It's going on right now in Bangladesh, and maybe the council hasn't heard about it. But I would encourage you to pay attention. There's a lot that the council can do, and I adhere you, I ask you, pay attention to this ongoing Hindu genocide in Bangladesh.
Thank you very much.
I know you hear many voices, but today I urge you to focus on a matter that transcends border, a genocide that demands our moral and civic duty. Right now in Bangladesh, the Hindu population is facing a brutal and ongoing genocide. Temples are being destroyed, women are being raped and killed, and an entire community is systematically erased. This isn't just happening far away. Minority Hindus in Indonesia and Philippines are also living in constant fear. These are human lives, and we cannot look away while such atrocities continue. Why should LA care? Because this city has proud history of standing up for human rights. In 2016, LA passed a resolution condemning global violence against the LGBTQ community. This is more than a symbolic gesture. It's about showing that LA leads with compassion and justice. I ask you today, not just for Hindus suffering abroad, but the principles that we hold dear at our home.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Hello. Thank you for having me. My name is Sylvia Aroth, and I am speaking for general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I am a homeowner and landlord in Venice. I've lived in Venice for over 50 years as a renter for the first 20 and as a homeowner and landlord for the last 30. I would like to impress on you the importance of not criminalizing through OVOs and 4118s our unhoused neighbors, and to build more affordable housing, including the Venice Dell property that has been stuck through crazy dealings that have been going on. We want to live in inclusive and diverse communities. We need affordable housing and safe parking in all neighborhoods, and please do not pander to our wealthy NIMBY constituents who only want safe parking and affordable housing in other places. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
I want to speak on all items in non-agenda public comment. And just so that we're aware, fuck item 17 for the record. Yeah. Sherman Way, fuck Sherman. I'm Herman. And then we go to item 18, CD4. Oh, funding for ongoing community beautification. Where are you going, mommy? Go beautify yourself for services in Council District 4?
Get back on the topic or else you'll be removed.
I'm reading the recommendations into the record. Transfer the $380,000 from asshole B, 1290 fund, you fucking moron, if you pay attention, to CD4. So I am on topic. Fuck you. Then I go to item
Just hold this
19,
time. Mr. Spindler, Mr. Herman, any
Mr.
discussion
Spindler.
with me, arguments with me is not on topic. So
I'm reading
that will
the
be
agenda,
considered
sir.
disruptive of the meeting and you'll be removed. Speak to the agenda.
I'm
This is your
reading
turn to speak to the agenda.
On
Start his
motion
time.
19 CD1. Who represents CD1? Does anyone know? Does anyone want to raise their hand? Do you know? Because the instructions by the clerk or the peace ambassador bullshit program, fucking Council District 1 with the fucking not to fucking exceed amount of $225,000 for the fucking term of June 2024. So goddamn approval of the fucking attorney as to perform the form. So that's 19, as though. Then we go to Katie. Trees in the Westwood area, trees in the Westwood area. 23,000 fucking American dollars for fucking Council District 5, fucking portion of fucking council projects to line an item for fucking general purpose for fucking funds.
Mr. Herman, you're at all these meetings. To the extent that you're just reading the agenda, that does not constitute
Sir,
public
listen,
comment.
listen.
So if you'd like to comment on the items, you're welcome to.
Listen.
Continue.
As you continue to interrupt, Mr. Fogg, I'm on item 21 for the record. Now, as far as all those trip, slip, and fall shit, that's amazing. All that liability that you, the attorneys,
So there is no slip and fall matter that's open for public comment at this time. So
Let's
please
just go
stick-
ahead and go to general public comment. He has 1 minute for general public comment.
Oh, so you're gonna forfeit my time, huh? Interrupt my impermissible language. Impermissibility. The fucking song? You know the fucking song. Listen up. It's a fucked up world in a fucked up time in a fucked up place in a fucked up LA. So the world knows what fucked up job and fucked up pay's about, because I'm here to talk about the fucked up budget and the fucked up lien and the fucked up shit by the fucked up attorney. So if you don't understand what the fuck is fuck, for the record, the word fuck is just a word. So if you want my limp biscuit, listen up. A motherfucking word in a motherfucking time. It's all about me when you waste my time. Shut the fuck up. Let me be heard. All I gotta do is say fuck, and it's no more.
Next speaker.
Good morning. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Like what I'm at, I don't talk to Atanda Bandane, to Site 86, to email the pedela, fucking cunt, to not do good job for CD6, fucking people, fucking property bond, $1.1 million of stealing, tax-exempt theft. Beach does not do tax-exempt multifamily conduit the Veruno. So the other people here, to the Tifra, to the contemporary.
So,
Everybody
Mr.
here
Spindler,
do say that.
your fake and
then
racist
only,
accent
excuse me,
makes you
sir.
unintelligible. So
don't
I'm
understand it.
finding that you are disrupting the
understand it.
meeting because you are making unintelligible noise rather than speaking in words. So you can either speak in words or I'm going to put you to general public comment.
Okay, I try to talk about number 18. I talked to the ramen noodle for the $380,000 for community beautification project. I go to here, I see shit on the ground in CD4, I see toilet paper, I try to take shit in street, I cannot do that. Other people take shit in street, we cannot do that. I do not do that in India, I do not do that in Pakistan. How come you allow people to shit on street? Why don't you make them clean up their shit? Why do the taxpayer have to come in? Why do they have to do this public work? I do not understand. Now we get to number 19 for the Eunice and Huto Salto Stalin. Over here for a peace ambassador to have ceasefire over on Vermont Avenue and over on 11th Street to have a ceasefire for the peace program ambassador to go inside, look for weapons, disarm gang members and thieves, and allow people to have peace. What a good idea. We pay for the people to have peace. Wouldn't it be nice if we could have peace in other council districts? But we rather had a peace. And then number 20, of course, this go to extend the community warriors for peace. So we are fighting for peace. Warriors are fighters, and fighters are fighting for peace, like my brothers and sisters in Hamas fighting for peace against the Zionist cocksucker. Very good thing, I support. In 21, we're going to plant trees. Isn't it nice the Zionist Yaroslavsky is going to plant trees for $23,000? How many trees you going to go to beat this shit? You could take three, you could piece in three, and take a shit in three. This is very good. That's a very good. Now I get to my general comment. I will speak to my brothers and sisters.
Okay, I'm going to find that whatever noise you're making is not in an actual language, and so you're disrupting the meeting. Sit down. Your time has expired. Sit down. All right, Mr. Spindler is continuing to disrupt the meeting after he's been instructed to be quiet. He's ordered excluded from the meeting pursuant to Rule 12. Leave the meeting. Leave the meeting. Leave the meeting. You're ordered removed from the meeting. You are ordered removed from the meeting. Leave the meeting immediately and quiet. Sergeants, show him the door, please. Have a good day, Mr. Spindler. You're ordered removed from the meeting.
So, and to the extent that it's not abundantly clear, Mr.
You
Spindler
are
is
ordered
still
removed
disrupting
from
this
the meeting. You're
after being
continuing to
excluded.
disrupt the meeting, and you're continuing to defy my orders to leave. Out. Get out. Get out. Spindler, get out.
Mr. Herman, please, Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman, be quiet while we're trying to get... So we are now waiting about 2 minutes and 30 seconds after Mr. Spindler was excluded from the meeting. Mr. Spindler, please keep moving so that we can continue with this meeting.
For the record, Mr. Spindler is still shouting as he's being escorted to the door, continuing to disrupt the meeting for an extended period of time. So, just so that we're clear, he was ordered removed pursuant to Rule 12, and so Rule 7 will apply to him for future meetings. All right. That will conclude the public comment here in the council chambers. We'll go next to the phones.
Hello. All available items and general public comment, please. And I think there might be another person also unmuted.
Yes, okay.
Yeah,
so
you got
hold on,
two people at the same time.
Caller, your time has not started yet. So for everybody on the phones, just to be clear, the items that are open for public comment are items 17 through 23. So caller, you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items first.
All righty. So this Peace Ambassador program, recommended by, put forward by Ulysses, it's just another bullshit program that she can tack on to her ever-inflating resume of, oh, look at me, I'm progressive, I brought a quote-unquote alternative to policing, when overall it's not even a patch or a Band-Aid on the problem itself. We don't need any more silly little programs like this. What we need is the fucking rent to be cheaper so that people can afford to not be out in the street or living in their car and then fighting over a fucking space and getting stabbed. All of these are crimes due to poverty and being squeezed too tight. We don't need some random person who doesn't want to get a real fucking job to pad their resume through this program and then work their way to becoming some fucking member of an NGO or a 501c3 or 4, or become a lobbyist somehow, or eventually start working for Unity's office through this program. We don't need this anymore.
Okay, you can move on to your next item, please.
Aren't there two items that are involving this program?
Go ahead. Next item.
Okay, so continuing with this topic, because there's also two different items involving this. What we need are less propaganda, brainwashing, pad your resume programs, and actual tangible results. We need people to form community, not just with people that are looking to pad their pockets, but with people that have nothing to offer them financially. You can't just treat us like statistics. You need to start treating us like people. Yeah, Mark. General public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Ulysses, you're a fucking joke. I told you once, don't forget where you came from, because it looked like you did. And honestly, I don't know where the fuck you came from. It's pretty sad how you like to act so progressive. Meanwhile, no one probably hardly talks about it, but you want to cut down the meetings from the already paltry few meetings that we have a week. So that public comment is beyond undersatisfied. I don't even understand how the fuck you get off thinking the public comment's been satisfied. There's 4 million people in this city, and you don't even hear hardly a couple hours of public comment. It's fucking nonsense. All you're an ambassador for is bullshit. So keep patting your pockets, stuffing your face. All of you guys, your days are numbered. It's not because of me. It's because the public is done with you. I don't have the means to do anything to y'all, but the public will have their day and will have their way with you. So enjoy that. Enjoy your parking spaces that you get for free for now, because when the public does to you what they're doing everywhere else in the world right now,
Your time
you ain't
has
gonna
expired.
Next caller, please.
Yeah, hi, DanielGus.substack.com.
Good afternoon.
I'll just do general public comment today.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Great. Okay, so Richard Alatorre passed away, and anybody's passing is sad, but let's remind the public who may not know that in 2001 he pled guilty to felony tax evasion that was tied to corruption for his job as a council member and as an MTA official, okay? So when you memorialize Mr. Alatorre, let's remember that he took tens of thousands of dollars and didn't pay tax on it, obviously, because it was a bribe, okay? And that it was tied to a couple of things. Remember that he and somebody else had been alleged to pressure the owner of an apartment complex in his district to hand over thousands of dollars, or else they're going to report him for building code violations. The money was supposedly used for home improvements for Mr. Alatorre at
Thank
a
you.
time
Thanks
when
very
the
much. Next caller, please.
Okay, Imelda Padilla, I don't mind you piggyback and, helping you with your homework. Remember when we did the debate and the Valley Industrial and Commerce? I said exactly what you're doing now. Give them a tax break so they can stay in their positions. At least give me some kudos and let them know that it was my idea. They brought that up during our debate. Giving them that, Mayor Bass is about to wanting us to not drive for 17 days during the Olympics. You should do
Caller,
the same.
none of this is on the agenda.
For
So
all businesses about the tax
please
break.
identify the
Don't
item
tell me
you're
I'm not on
speaking to.
topic. Let me speak.
Please identify the item you're speaking to.
No,
I'm going
it's
to
on
move
the
you to general
tax
public
proclamation,
comment.
the 17. Don't tell me my time's up. You're cutting me off. Okay? It's about the tax break. The idea that the mayor should do the same for all businesses that she's going to offset by not having cars drive.
Okay, we've already let you
You
run
can't
for your
just be
minute
fair to
on
one.
item
Number
17.
19. Let's go to number 19, the ambassador program. Great program. Unless you come from the streets and need that support, somebody that can walk you through that gang-infested area and is comfortable doing so and people are comfortable with you, that program's great. But you have to come from the streets to know that. The nonsense that is new, no, it's not new. It's been existing. And those things, those programs help people stay in order and, again, helps people get into the programs that help the rest of the community. Because the most honest word in that dictionary is not sympathy, it's empathy. Have you gone through it? Have you been hungry? Have you been homeless? Have you been scared living in the projects? Yeah, those things exist. Smoke and scan, thank you. And you're right. These people take 2 hours to get through on the phone. And at the end, they say, well, we've been
This is
hearing
not on the agenda. You
comments
have
for
been
2
warned.
hours.
So I'm going to move you to general public
Let's
comment.
go to general public
Yes,
comment.
You have 1 minute.
Okay,
Go ahead.
general public comment. Okay, stop. General public comment. Again, smoke and scan. You're right. They take 2 hours to get through to the phone. Had to do a formal complaint about the person on the kiosk to ethics. And there'll be a lawsuit coming with it because it seems that that's the only way they terminate people running the kiosk. It's not fair to the people here. And don't tell the people, oh, we've been taking comment for 2 hours when you had an hour and a half public display. John Walker, you guys were acknowledging him. And Monica Rodriguez turned around and interrupted that. Richard Alacon died. You should have waited another 10 seconds and you could have got that across. Again, you understand he did jail time for the corruption that happens in that city hall, in that city council chamber. That's the reason I'm running, to bring everything to light. Kevin De Leon, no different. I'm going to keep bringing it to light. So by the time the election comes
Caller,
up,
your time has expired.
the people.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
All right, so let's start off. We've got, hang on, I gotta figure out, well, we got 18, that's Community Beautification Services in CD4. Maybe Nithya can listen to the people who live in the community that she's beautifying and start actually listening to people who got her into office. We have item 19, that's Peace Ambassadors in CD1. It's always good to see stuff that takes stuff away, resources and money away from policing and put it towards things that help the community. But we should make sure we should do more of this. And we need to start looking into more alternatives to policing and getting rid of policing altogether, because certainly currently you haven't taken a single dollar away from the LAPD in a long time. So, I mean, let's start taking money away from the LAPD and putting it towards things that actually keep people safe. We have item 20, Community Warriors for Peace. And as we all know, City Council is really interested in promoting peace. Oh, actually, wait, you're rescinding it, so yeah, you're not interested in promoting peace. We have item 21, planting new trees in CD5. That sounds okay, probably. Let's go on to general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
So today, City Council honored the Watts Uprisings. That's, notable that City Council has learned absolutely nothing from that. City Council, where you're all continuing to sit alongside a racist, Kevin De Leon, who should have resigned a long time ago. But you all just keep enabling him and welcoming him onto the council. Kevin, you need to resign. Coming back from his extended vacation in France as Paul Krikorian, lame duck council president. Why did you even need to spend that much time in Paris, Paul? You're not even going to be council president during the Olympics, which shouldn't even happen anyway. You're not even going to be council president even if they do happen. So why did you need to at least send Mark Weiss or something? I mean, come on. You're not even showing up to do your job that you apparently love so much. I mean, come on.
Caller, your time has expired.
Thank you. First place we got to clean up is Figueroa. Mr. Jason from Smoke and Scan tells us about all of the disgusting things he does down there. Went down there. Do you know that most of those poor women are being trafficked? Do you know that a lot of them are young? There was one woman with another companion that was like 13 years old. Is that one of Mr. Jason from Smoking Scan's victims? He offers $5 to them. You think that when they go back to their pimps that they're not beaten because of somebody like Jason from Smoking Scan? This man should be arrested. I'm asking LAPD to do an investigation of this individual. He is hurting people. He's part of human trafficking. He tells us what he does with these poor victims. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. And, Smoke and Scan, I agree with you. Rob Kwan and, Mr. Daniel Gus, we need more people like that.
Time
but
has
we
expired.
do not need it.
Yes, my name is Jason. I'm a Smoke and Scan viewer.
Good afternoon. And which items would you like to speak to?
What are items available at Pumpkinhead?
So the items that are open for public comment are items 17 through 23.
Cool. Well, let me get all available items, general public comment, and can I get a translator
So you
for
have
Friday to speak
you
niggers,
have
if that's
3
possible?
minutes for the items and 1 minute for general
Uh-huh.
public comment. Please begin with the items.
And my translator for Friday, can I get him?
Go ahead and speak to the items.
Yes, sir, boss. Will do, boss. Question. Can we get something done about the potholes and the cracks in the sidewalk down there? Because the other day I was down on Figueroa with this
Yeah,
chick,
what's happening on
and,
Figueroa is
yes,
not
sir.
on the agenda, so speak to the agenda item or go to
No?
general public comment.
Well, I was talking about the cracks and the cracks in the holes, the potholes.
All
down
right,
there on
general
Figueroa.
public comment, please. 1 minute for
Oh,
general
damn.
public
All right, well,
comment.
thank you there, brother. All right. Thank you there, brother. Anyway, shout out to the Smoke Scan community. Anyway, what I was saying, I was down on Figueroa the other day, and this chick come running up to my car, and she trips in the pothole. She tripped, she fell, and she landed right on the cocksucker. So now we got her walking around here looking like she got hoof and mouth disease because she all fucked up in the grill and stuff there. And I wonder if we can get something done about the holes and the potholes done because it's hard out there, for a chick to, $5 is a lot to pay for a chick with a fucked up grill there. And, she's trying to suck on it. She's scraping the side of it and, your dick getting all roughed up. So if we can get some of that, it'd be cool there. And I want to say shout out to Candido, boy. You're doing good work there, brother. And shout out to the Smoke Can community there. But y'all have a good one.